Soulja Boy is done, bro. Bro might be homeless soon. This is the absolute worst news that anybody could ever get. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the court debacle that's been going on over the last couple of months with Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy was seen visibly shooken and expressionless when a guilty verdict was read out loud today in court, accusing Soulja Boy of some very nasty accusations. This Soulja Boy case is about to turn this industry upside down because what Soulja Boy did is horrible, is nasty, is disgusting, but it's not abnormal. Right? I know 100 rappers who have done similar things to what Soulja Boy is being accused of. On or about December 2018, Plaintiff began working for Soulja Boy. Plaintiff was to act as Soulja Boy's personal assistant. Her job responsibilities included, but were not limited to, cleaning the house, cooking and or bringing food and snacks, carrying personal belongings or luggage, styling Soulja Boy's hair, driving him around, handling traveling itineraries, vetting guests, and other requests that were made by Soulja Boy on day-to-day basis. Hiring a personal assistant ain't illegal, but here's where a regular personal assistant for somebody in an esteemed profession and a rapper personal assistant differ. A rapper will use personal assistant or that job title to essentially move in hot chicks so they can crack them. Soulja Boy agreed to pay her $500 a week. This is minimum wage, but this is one of the highest payments I've seen from a personal assistant for a rapper. She would even admit that she got paid $200 a week from somebody else, and the other person ain't pay her nothing at all, just room and board. So $500 a week for regular people with regular jobs is minimum wage, but for a personal assistant who gets to live in a multi-million dollar mansion, that is like premium pay. Now, here's where the predatory line gets drawn between how these rappers interact with personal assistants and what a regular duty of a personal assistant should be. So these rappers, okay, would move in or move these chicks in, right? So the chicks would move into their home. So she moved into Soulja Boy's residence located in Malibu, California, and Bell Canyon, California. Now, this chick will claim that she was working 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. Most of the time, these things aren't even treated like real jobs. There's no W-2s, 1099s. This is cash under the table. And that's if they're lucky. A lot of these dudes will move these chicks in, have them cook for them, wash their drawers, roll their blunts, and essentially try to clap their cheeks, right? And clapping their cheeks is essentially like the consistent duties that they care about the most. They don't care about you washing their clothes or cooking for them, bro, right? Bro, they can get a girlfriend for that, bro. They want to just clap your cheeks. That's it. So this chick and Soulja Boy was no different because as soon as she moved in and started working for Soulja Boy, almost immediately, Soulja Boy began to send her pictures of his junk, trying to seduce the chick. Now, shortly after plaintiff and employment relationship, a romantic relationship also developed. And this how they get you. This how they get you. She was saying, yo, the relationship was consensual. He didn't grape me, or at least initially he didn't grape me. This was consensual. But under law, ain't no such thing as consensual, man, when you hire this chick. See, what Soulja Boy probably ain't realize or understand, bruh. You treating this chick like just some type of regular chick who's just living in your crib. So why not? Why can't I clap her cheeks? I'm paying for her to live here. But she's your employee. You are employing her. You can't just start sending her unsolicited pictures to try to seduce her. And then once the seduction works, you start sleeping with her. That's not how this works, bruh. And under law, she could leave at any point, file a lawsuit, bruh, and break your pockets for workplace harassment, workplace sexual SA, but it could be anything. As soon as Soulja Boy began to clap her cheeks and sleep with her, he started to forget that she was an employee. Right? He stopped paying her regularly, and apparently he began to violate her, right? Acting violently towards her. Now, according to her, the violent acts began on or around January 23rd, 2019, and included numerous instances of physical violence, kicking, throwing, and punching, SA, spitting on her body, and threats of physical violence and death. She would recall an incident that took place January 23rd, 2019. Apparently, her and Soulja Boy was in the vehicle. Soulja Boy asked her to drop him off at his mom's house. She assumed his mom lived in Georgia, so she asked him, wait, hold up, don't your mom live in Georgia? Apparently, Soulja Boy got so irate, he kicked her out of the vehicle, dragged her out, and she was stranded. Right? And when she was stranded after being physically pushed out the vehicle, she was forced to walk 5 miles from Beverly Hills to Hollywood Boulevard. When I say Soulja Boy began to treat her like his girlfriend when he began sleeping with her, this is what I meant. This is not news. This is not shocking. This is pretty normal for Soulja Boy. I'm not sure if you guys are old enough to where y'all knew when Soulja Boy was dating Nia Riley, when they were on television, they were on Love and Hip Hop. Yo, Nia Riley has a well documented history of calling out Soulja Boy for violating her. She was even on Tasha K, telling numerous of stories of Soulja Boy violating.
Yeah, he was in his bathroom getting his hair cut. And where our bed was, you could look like straight into the bathroom, like right where you are. And then the door was downstairs and the front door, like right there as soon as you get to the bottom of the steps. So I was like, okay, I know this nigga's haircuts take like an hour, if not longer. So I was like, okay. So I'm trying to make sure he can't see me in certain mirrors, like from the bathroom. And I pack my bags, I pack my bag, and I try to, like, you know, it's a crazy situation to try and get out of it. But I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm leaving. I can't do it. So I just sat there. I was watching. He hadn't moved, didn't get up for nothing for a minute. So I was like, okay. So I got my bag, and I walked down the stairs, and I was like halfway down the stairs, and I felt him press it against the back of my head. And I just sat down. I sat on the steps, and I sat on the steps for about probably a couple hours. I just stayed there. And he was sitting behind me, and I didn't say.
With the gun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember people. I feel like he had just finished his haircut right at the moment I wanted to leave, of course. But yeah, he sat there. And he had friends there that was sitting there, and I would just watch him, and nobody ever said anything. And
Teddy Riley even called out Soulja Boy and said he needs to apologize for the years of violating his daughter Nia. So this is not something that's new. These are age-old accusations that Soulja Boy has always been linked to. So when I hear the personal assistant who essentially turned into his girlfriend because she was living with him, cooking for him, and getting her cheeks clapped by him. So yeah, you know, it's no surprise or it's no shocker from my perspective that he began to do similar things to her that he did to Nia Riley. On or around February of 2019, they weren't on good terms. He wanted the cheeks. She wasn't trying to give him the cheeks because she wasn't feeling him at the time. So he took it, right? He took it without her permission or without her consent and then paid her $1,000 to apologize. Now, on or around May of 2019, apparently she tried to leave, right? She tried to quit. She was tired of it. But when she tried to leave, apparently Soulja Boy grabbed her phone and spit on her when she tried to quit. Now, at the time, she tolerated this because she claims that she was in love with Soulja Boy. But this is a trend. This is the same thing that we just heard Nia Riley's told Tasha K 5 years ago. She said, yo, I tried to leave. I was sick and tired of being violated, being mistreated, so I tried to leave. And when I tried to leave, he put a gun to the back of my head. So again, how I would, like decide on who's guilty or who's not, or how I decide whether or not somebody is credible, I look at the trends, bro. If you got a trend of doing these things, bro, I'm gonna take the person's word who's claiming you did it to them after you done did it to multiple other people. She documented how Soulja Boy threatened to unalive her on multiple occasions. He would brutalize her pretty badly, and how on one occasion he hit her so hard in the back of her head that she fell unconscious and had to wake up in a locked bedroom. This is not just regular rage. This is like uncontrollable psychotic rage. This is insane. But this isn't even the worst part or the sickest part. The sickest part about all of this, or the sickest accusation from my perspective in this lawsuit, is when she would say that she left, right? That one day things got so bad, she officially left. Now, when she left, she tried to come back to grab her belongings because she didn't have time to grab anything. She just escaped and left. And when she got back and tried to get her belongings, she would claim that Soulja Boy forced himself on her. If we go to paragraph 20, on numerous occasions and sometimes twice in the same day, Soulja Boy would inappropriately touch her, forcibly pull her pants off, and grape her, according to her. All right. Now, if we scroll down and go to paragraph 22, on or around September or October of 2020, plaintiff attempted to retrieve her belongings after leaving. And when she tried to, apparently Soulja Boy refused to give her belongings, and he used the opportunity to grape the plaintiff again. This chick came to court with receipts, with photos, with text messages. She came to court with, it's as if she was documenting this as it was happening, knowing she was about to sue. Because she had receipts for every accusation she made against Soulja Boy in 4K. So Soulja Boy had to testify. He had to take the stand because, bruh, like this chick got nothing but proof. So Soulja Boy had to take the stand to do some damage control. Now his lawyers will question him about conduct. He would say that every time they were intimate, he would ask her if she wanted to be intimate, and it was all fully consensual. Now, one of the things I did pay attention to, right, was the above, man, was when Soulja Boy was questioned about being rich and all the money he has, because his finances is a big deal, all right? His finances is a big deal in this situation. Soulja Boy was forced to admit to all the things he capped about, like making 15 to 20 million dollars from Crank That. He said it was cap. All right. And they asked him how much has he made this year from streaming. All right. Well, not the music, but from streaming his video games and TikTok and stuff like that. So when asked about his money from online streaming, Soulja Boy said probably like 18,000 so far this year. You've only made 18,000 this year? Yeah, because it takes a while for the money to like produce from the streams. Oh no! So it looks like this is from music. $18,000 this year off his music, which to me honestly makes sense. All right. So Soulja Boy says his bank account fluctuates and that trial is taking a lot of his money. And he will say he makes $300 to $400 per live stream on TikTok. Um, Now, Sembrino also asked Soulja Boy about him saying he'd been offered $140 million for a video game system. Now, mind you, this was part of the cap that Soulja Boy was capping about in like 2016, 2018. All right. So Soulja Boy said it didn't go through. But Soulja Boy told us he already got the $100 million. All right. So Soulja Boy laughed when Sabrina asked him if he's worth $100 million. All right. So Soulja Boy admits to all the cap in court. All right. But ultimately, bruh, the messages to prove he got found guilty, it was an easy call. Now, afterwards, Soulja Boy came out and decided to speak to the public. Now, mind you, usually when somebody gets found guilty, all right, or when a verdict comes, they walk out of court with their lawyers. Their lawyers have a press conference and they talk. No, bro, Soulja Boy walked out of court by himself, left his lawyers, and gave Megan Cuniff a statement. And here's what Soulja Boy had to say about the guilty verdict.
About the verdict.
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement of individuals such as the jury who were not present during the events in question. And I feel that the system allowed external influences to shape the outcome. Furthermore, the use of Jane Doe as the identity of the accusers raises serious concerns about fairness. Keeping these individuals anonymous while I'm forced to face public scrutiny creates an unequal playing field. I believe this entire process has been tainted by a system that is not designed to protect the rights of the accused. I want to make it clear that I'm innocent.
Boy, I hate rappers, man. Yo, I hate rappers, bruh. Even he don't believe he's innocent, bruh. You can just see him. Bro, you don't believe that, bruh. Man, cut it out, man. Bro, cut it out, bruh. Man, cut it out, bruh. Bruh, listen, this is where being hard on the 304 gets you, man. Of course you did it. Bro, you just lost another lawsuit of this other chick who just won like $400,000 in damages. And these aren't being rewarded because he's not showing up. No, he's actually showing up. And they're hearing evidence for him and the other chicks, and they're giving guilty verdicts for each one. All right. So he already lost one. This is the second one he lost. Now, he about to lose another one because another court case is starting next month.
This case was never about justice. It was about money and personal gain. And I would not let that stand. I am committed to filing an appeal and fighting for the truth to be revealed. I will continue to stand by my decision and believe that I did not commit the crimes I'm accused of. Thank you to everyone who has supported me during this time. I promise that I will fight until the end to clear my name and expose the truth. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Would you mind repeating the first 3 sentences? I apologize.
Today, I stand before you.
Nah, man, this is this is a skit, homie. Nah, this, this a skit, man. Y'all gotta cut it out, bro. What? You repeat it? Oh, nah, man. Yo, Soulja Boy, cut it out, bro. Pay that girl her money, man, and cut it out, bro. Cut the buffoonery, bro. Cut it out, man. Listen, yo, yo, Soulja Boy don't got $4 million to give. He don't got $4 million. After the first lawsuit, I don't think he had 400,000 to give, and she's having troubles collecting her money. I think this right here, essentially, bro, is gonna destroy and ruin Soulja Boy's life. When you have judgments like this out there, bro, obviously he don't have the money to pay. So you know what they're coming for now? The royalties, his percentages from Crank That. They're coming for them cars. They're coming for the streaming money. They're coming for everything, which is why they're asking him to itemize his assets in court. So again, and I don't think Soulja Boy, would have like a WAC 100 in his corner. Like when the game lost his lawsuit, WAC 100 was able to make things shake to where, the game is protected. WAC got a lot of the assets in his name. But with Soulja Boy, I don't think he got some type of high power people, bro. Even his lawyers weren't high power, bro. So, they about to cook Soulja Boy, man, right? The jewelry being taken, the cars being taken. Bro might be homeless after this is done, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think, okay? Do you guys think Soulja Boy is innocent? Is he guilty? Let me know, all right? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why Vlad TV is getting a lot of backlash for comments he made during his DJ Academics interview. Click on this video right here to find out exactly what those comments are, okay? Out of here, folks. Peace.